Hi, I'm Brian with Geeking Akron, and I'm here to talk to you today about cleaning your computer, your peripherals, actual cleaning. I'm not talking software. I'll leave that for another day. And the reason that I'm bringing it up now is this time of year, as the weather gets colder, we tend to have our houses closed up and our offices closed up, and we don't get too much airflow. Dust tends to build up, and not to mention that with all the holiday foods and snacks and everything else, some people might be converted into desk eaters. But generally speaking, it's a good idea to keep your keyboards and mice and all of your work surfaces clean anyhow. There is, however, some confusion, even in this day of age where there's so many people who've been using computers for so long, they just kind of pick up your standard cleaning stuff that you would use at home to dust or to clean things off and kind of have at it with your computer. And it really does deteriorate some of your equipment if you do it improperly. One of the biggest things that I see people do, even these days, is they'll pick up a can of Lysol, or they'll pick up a spray bottle full of Windex, and they'll go right at the computer with something. Now, I mean, let's face it, Windex, it's handy. We have it around for every reason that you can think of, but it's not good for computer equipment for reasons that I'll get to shortly. But apart from just the makeup of this stuff, this ammonia-based stuff, anytime that you spray something directly onto a computer, I mean, it can get into the electronics. It can degrade the leaf switches on the insides of keyboards. It can even short things out if there's some metal-coated components within that the stuff can kind of turn into a solution, get into where it's not supposed to be, and create a short circuit. It's just not a good thing. And so anyways, anytime you need to use any sort of solution, whether you even just water, you want to apply it in a fashion that isn't sprayed directly onto your computer components. Place it on a cloth or something along those lines, and go at it from there. Now it comes down to cleaning your monitor. I know what a lot of people think. They think, well, this is just a big window, right? And so therefore they want to pull out Big Blue. Don't. Put this stuff away. It and other stuff like it has an ammonia base. And ammonia has a particular method or way of eating through the coatings that are on the outsides of these monitors, especially these flat panel monitors, which are so prevalent these days. And there is like a polyvinyl coating on the outside, a little plastic coating, and using anything ammonia-based can actually eat that stuff away and cause fogging after a period of time. Now, if you've already used Windex or something like that on a monitor, it's not shot. Just stop. Just don't do that anymore. The best thing that you can use is a nice, clean, lint-free towel. Nothing with anything dusty or sharp or anything like that. Make sure it's just nice and clean, and straight up, nice, clean water. We're going to be doing some water and alcohol in just a minute for something else. But anyways. Also, if you have the opportunity, use a microfiber towel. I don't happen to have one with me right at the moment, but don't necessarily need one. But simply moisten the towel. Do not spray anything, whether it's ammonia-based or not, on any of your electronics, by the way. Always do it separate from your computer and your peripherals that you're going to be trying to clean. And go in a crosswise fashion, back and forth like this. If you want to get into the bezels, just use the tip of your finger, kind of press it through a little bit, side to side, and that should take care of almost everything that you can particularly accrete on a monitor on a normal basis. Now, sometimes you can get stubborn thumbprints, fingerprints, that sort of thing going on. You can purchase these electronic cleaning wipes. But they can be a little bit pricey. They are alcohol-free, but they are good for this sort of thing. Say you got like little spatters from a Coke can or something along those lines that, if you're a desk eater. But one of the best things that you can actually use if you need something to go beyond the towel with the water is lens wipes for eyeglasses. These things work great. They're a lot cheaper than the electronic cleaning stuff. You can buy boxes upon boxes of these, and if you're in any sort of size office, you're going to have a few people that wear glasses, and they're going to have a pocket full of them. And so we can simply use these like you would on your glasses. It's also important not to scrub with anything on your screens, no matter what you use. because sometimes you can actually end up wearing thin spots in the coatings on these things. If you do, by the way, happen to have an old CRT monitor that is actual glass, then there probably isn't too much of a problem using that nasty blue ammonia-based Windex or something along those lines. It's just not particularly recommended. But if you're not sure as to what sort of coatings you may have on your screen, especially if it's a flat panel or a plasma or another type of monitor, just avoid the blue stuff entirely. Okay, on to cleaning now the keyboards and peripherals. Now, one of the things that you can do if you don't use the microfiber or the water solution, and let's face it, we're talking about mice, we're talking about keyboards. Even when they look clean, they can be awfully dirty, and if you looked really closely, I don't have the camera resolution to show that, but sometimes there's a little bit of gunk in there and everything else. I've unplugged the keyboard. It's a USB, hey, so I don't even have to take the whole computer down. But in order to clean the thing off and also provide a little bit of sanitization, one of the things that you can do is you can use a mixture of 3 parts water, water right there, just show you, pour some in, 3 parts water, and 2 parts of the magic isopropyl alcohol. Gotta love this stuff. It works pretty well. So I'll add about, that's about 2 parts to the 3 of the water that's already in there. And again, we're going back to our nice, clean, lint-free cloth. Swirl that around a little bit, and again, we're not putting this directly on the keyboard. Don't spray anything directly on the keyboard or your mouse. You could end up ruining it. And so we're going to moisten the cloth first. Get it like that. And now you can just kind of do whatever you need. Do not make it so wet that it drips and it gets inside the keyboard. You can have a real problem there. Obviously, I'm using a Mac keyboard, even though I'm running PCs around here. I just happen to like the action. But it also makes it really nice and easy to clean. You may have to try to use something to get in the middle of, in between your keys if you're using a different type of keyboard, especially the old scissor action keys or anything like that. And so you can end up using some Q-tips, or you can actually stick the end of a pen or something in there to kind of give yourself a slightly more pointed way to getting in and amongst. But anyways, that should clean things off quite nicely. And the same method, of course, for the mouse. And I've also got a multi-touch pad here. I can do the same thing. And lastly, let's get down to the CPU itself. Now, I've got it out of view right at the moment, but it's sitting up here, the kind of tucked away. Notice that imagine that you can notice that it's actually sitting up on top of my desk. One of the things, especially spending so many years as an IT guy, that I saw that just really kind of drove me nuts was that people would love to shove these things actually behind their desks or underneath their desks or in a closed cabinet, and it is really not good for them. They dramatically can lower the lifespan of a computer. When you set the thing on the floor, it's easy to get kicked, or when you're moving your chair in and out. And also, it made even doubly worse anytime that you have a carpeted situation. The dust levels go up dramatically. Keeping it up on your desk will keep the thing cleaner. It'll be running cooler. And although it may not be the fashion statement that you're looking for, it's a lot better than the fashion statement of having another $1,500 or $2,000 bill to replace. You can open up the PC case. Don't be afraid to do this. It's not going to void your warranty. And use a can of compressed air, the little pressurized air cans that you can get from any Office Depot or anything along those lines, and gently blow the thing out. A lot of times you'll have better results if you blow backwards according to its normal airflow. If it sucks air in through the front and then out the back, blow it from the other direction, and it should loosen things up nicely. And that should actually take care of everything for you in terms of keeping your computer all cleaned up and ready for another year's use. I'm Brian with Geeking Akron. Thanks a lot. Happy holidays.